So there's something that you would wish people would get. The ones that condemn themselves to their own prison because they feel like they're believing in a higher strain of delusion. So for the person that discounts God and throws away every single virtue or statement or wisdom, but then they go and embrace science, I get where you're coming from. It's a common 20-something trap because it feels like it's more legitimate than, say, Christianity. So America, you can get in on this one. There's a lot of people that, the way that media pushes you as well, because media will never glorify Christianity or anything like that. And again, I'm not trying to support either one of them. I'm not trying to make either one of them wrong. We're just witnessing the process. That's the key. The more that you identify with this matrix, the more it has you. The more that you give emotional consent to any of these paradigms, no matter how right or wrong you think you are, you're anchoring yourself to the false delusion. And in time, you'll come to understand. But for now, if you're in the in-between, simply just trying to give you the eyes to see. If you don't want it, that's fine. If all the extent you want to go to is just hating the messenger, that's okay too. It's just simply where you're at with expression. But the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia actually covered this really nicely in their little trial episode. I don't remember which episode it was, but, they basically covered that, one of the characters was foolish for believing in God, when the other one believed in science and evolution, of course, because, there's data, to support all this, figures, records, right? But then when the Christian-minded person asked the scientist, a science-minded evolution person, it was like, well, but isn't that exactly what you're doing? Just believing. Like, have you ever poured through the data yourself? No. Have you seen these fossil records? No, of course. Have you seen the data? No. But so you're taking these words written by man, and you're just taking it on faith. So it's really the same thing, except here's the difference. To be able to witness, just observe. You don't have to believe in any of these paradigms. But if you want to break it down, what does Christianity speak of? Hope, faith, love, renewing. A lot of good words in there. But what does science stand for? It's pretty grim when you look at it. Now, if that happens to be the truth, great, sure. It doesn't have to make sense to you. Universe is under no obligation to make sense to you. But the only notion of the universe that you've ever known, or any other human being alive in this reality plane, is mock-up computer models by NASA and AI. NASA is a marketing company. Whether you believe that or not, you'll come to find it's a marketing company. Like McDonald's is a real estate company. They're just looking to seize up as much land as possible. So NASA's job is perception deception. They need to mock up a model of what this reality is supposed to look like, when really all they're doing is creating computer models based in what we'd call the astral realm, the realm of the mind, where many people find themselves trapped in false filaments. They find themselves in geometrical structures illuminated by their mind's light, thinking it's them, having this holographic experience. Now, we might be galloping a little far ahead, right? But all I'm saying is, when you're looking to enlighten yourself, there are many paths. But what's very important, and this sticks out to me, many of these thought paradigms do not want you having a heart space awakening. They want to awaken your mind. Very easy to control a 5 sense being through the mind, especially the left brain that craves certainty. And Oh, don't you worry. They, including AI, can provide that certainty for you, however true or false, as long as it sounds good enough to justify to your left brain. But one thing that Christianity does, and I don't identify with any of them. I kind of think that they're all a trap, because you know who, the big noses, have tinkered with all the religions. But I've got to call Christianity, because I don't see them trying to suppress a heart space awakening. I don't see them ushering you into a digistopia like science is, like technology is, like AI is. All of those things are obviously evil, obviously a fragmenting, imposter. There's nothing created there. It's just a boldly spoken, computer model assisted narrative with heavy dogma. I'm not saying you have to believe anything. Why? Why even believe at all? Because pretty much everything that's out there begging you for belief it needs your belief in order for it to be true. I would say don't believe in anything at all and see what sticks. But I know that there's a different notion. There's much more that can be practiced, because if you fill your mind with just what this, plane or world or planette provides to you, you're going to be forever lost, chasing your tail, doing nothing. There's no information that's out there deemed correct in the mainstream that's going to lead anywhere. None of it. And just because you might have a 6-figure job making blood money, that doesn't mean you're legitimate. That doesn't mean there's truth. I mean, you can make a lot of money just by killing people. You can make a lot of money by shoving dildos in your ass, male or female, So just because you make money, little clever fucks, that doesn't mean that you know what truth is. That doesn't mean you know what reality is. That just simply means that your soul has a really low price tag and you really give a fuck about what you do or the repercussions of it in order to maintain a sense of comfort. So you people are out of the conversation until you grow a fucking spine. So anyways, for the rest of us, it's not that you have to believe in anything or that there's even pressure to live in to the rudimentary nature that they're trying to tell you that your body is. Oh, you're just a human and you're a worker bee and you can think like this, you can believe and maybe, and you'll become something. You are more capable than anything they've ever told you. Far more capable, far more powerful. I'm not saying that you're God, but you may have access to it. You may be the conduit that can access free will kind of stuff, connected to divine source kind of stuff. So yeah, you might not have as much physical strength as a reptilian, but it doesn't matter because you're connected to source. And their time is running out, for it is fixed. But we are infinite because we are in the moment. Space does not matter, and there is nowhere for them to run, because for us, we are always here, no matter where we find ourselves. So, as the finite will always attempt to, throw daggers at the infinite, you're only adding to it. So, there's so much more glory that is beyond the vibrational little mapping that they do, where they put, peace, love, joy, and enlightenment, and all that. It's more of a starting point. And though in this form, it can be more nuanced to access or experience those things with all of the chatter and all of the cover-up. But we all know that it is there. We all know that it is present. And we all know that the kingdom is within.